They have not noticed this big red thing on the wall that is crawling around them, but that's fine. They do not seem like the brightest bunch, but that works to our advantage. I just want to give a brief content warning for this and potentially other parts of Concrete Genie, just because we go over some of the fairly, not super heavy, but like just some trans healthcare stuff and some bullying things. Just wanted to make you aware, in case you weren't expecting it, that comes up in conversation. So just to let you know, in case that's not so good. Yeah. Thank you for starting the video. I won't see you, but you'll see me. Thank you. Bye.
Can't clear that without super paint. That's better.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I hate boys with boys as a statement.
Well, that's about as nice
It's nothing more than just giving up on a toxic behavior that they don't want to address. And actually shows that the boys with boys behavior harms everyone pretty much. It's never just it's never just the vulnerable, but actually it imbues these toxic behaviors in people who don't need to have them reinforced. And that eventually always gets passed on to someone else who cannot, is not going to have the strength to deal with it or fight back. What does that mean?
I think we'd already left by this point.
I was able to, when I was being bullied really badly in high school, I was able to change form groups. But after that, they kind of considered it, you know...
What's this?
There was no, like, significant aftercare counselling, but, you know, I went to an all-boys school, so it was like... There was only really so much they were prepared to do. Can you come over here?
Looking to play, huh?
Give you a page.
Okay, now will you help me get through this door?
Look at them, they're very happy. Oh, you want a tree? Is that what's going to help you get me through the door? Okay. Where is it? There you go. Have another one, because I like you. Yeah, it's amazing that actually
Right here.
the people who would judge you for being different are the ones that are so afraid of being different themselves. That's very, very reliant on authoritarian structures for
Oh man, those jerks again?
for security, because it's kind of an insecurity, and sometimes that comes from, you know, comes from home.
Maybe if I use the rooftops.
They sort of inherited biases and things like that, preconceptions about
Crap.
what it means to be
I can
an
lure them
individual,
away
I guess. Yeah.
Hey, come and get me.
Only cowards hide.
I think you'll find I am a strategist.
Did you hear something? Got it. Let's go.
No, I want to go up. There we go. Oh, a green one.
Oh, need to get this onto the wall.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, excuse me, you're the ones who are not, if you're going to be that kind of toxic about it.
Nice.
going now.
Never too many pages.
Same, yeah.
Next time for sure.
I'm beeping.
Ready?
Genie!
I wish they'd just go home. Walk it off.
What bodies have we got? It's behind my monitor again. I'm gonna lean out.
Ready for anything, Froggy?
Let's do a B.
Come on, get in the stand.
Oh, I have new things now.
I told you, you're fine.
What is this? The wings? Many wings.
Line drive.
What else we do? Oh, horns, beast. Yeah, I love the aesthetics of this game.
Incoming.
What have we got? Oh,
Walk it off. Rebound.
yeah, that's cool. Oh, do we need a tail though? Do we have another tail? No, just one so far. That's okay. Everything is better with a tail.
Still good. Come on.
Oh, come on, Chimney, what are you doing to me?
Don't be a baby.
I would admit, I like,
Fastball.
I mean, I'm furry trash. I would like to see more, like, explicitly furry designs, but you can make things really cute monsters, though.
Try it again. Ready?
Oh, they're down there. Okay, one. They have not noticed this big red thing on the wall that is crawling around them, but that's fine. They do not seem like the brightest bunch, but that works to our advantage.
Line drive.
Yee!
Next time.
There's still quite a backlog to post. Actually, we've recorded quite a few in advance, so there will still be some yet for a few weeks, and we have no reason not to keep them up. So it's good. Oh, the sun! Yay! Big old apples.
All out of super paint.
Yep. Tails to me would be a like +10 charisma, instant success at anything, persuasion, intimidation, everything.
Don't be a baby.
Ooh.
Take that.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Thank you for coming.
Can't let him see me.
Jump to use zip lines. I gotta get back to my genie. I need super paint. There isn't full damage explicitly, but I'm still really nervous about it.
We've got company. Be ready for anything, Froggy. Alright, next time.
Come here. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you want trees? We can do trees. Come back. Yes, to a degree. It softens it. It doesn't sort of get rid of it necessarily. Where's my trees? There we are. We want lots of trees. Now you want the little things.
That's got it.
Give me love.
Don't sneeze now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they often pair it with anti-androgens like finasteride, which will help sort of mop up testosterone, which do obviously that helps prevent body growth, not body growth, body hair growth too. I can't give that to you right now. I've noticed my body and facial hair getting a little bit softer, and it doesn't grow quite as
Dandelions?
quickly.
Okay, but I hope you're not allergic.
Oh, that was close. I do not have very high, very far jump distance with this. Yeah, I do too, very much. I do not enjoy it.
Let's get this cleaned up.
I got stars. There's more darkness somewhere. Where is it? Probably around here.
Oops, no more super paint.
Duh.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah. I have not tried. I get very tired of trying to shave because obviously there is so much, and it frustrates me when it gets very uncomfortable when it starts growing back. So it's either maintain it always or just let it go and wait until I can get some kind of longer term treatment that will help it go away more permanently. Let's do a fire. Under the stars. Fire under the stars. What else we got? And then that side.
Don't they ever go home?
Nope. Ah, it ran out.
Super painting.
It is kind of intimidating when you start transitioning and you get to that sort of that point of knowing what you want to be or who you want to be and what you want to look like, but not necessarily being able to knowing, kind of seeing how far you've got to go with it all. Kind of strange no man's land of I'm on my way but I'm not there yet. Yeah, sometimes you don't, it's harder to get that affirmation until you see someone else with that same affirmation too. Knowing that someone else can be happy in their body, or that you suddenly find inspiration with seeing someone like you or having the same feelings as you about your own body and how they deal with it. Because until that point you don't really know, it's all inside, and you can just kind of feel like, oh, is this it? There's some to the left. Missed some. Sorry, ADHD. What's going on? There's some to my left over there. The monster noises are really good, yeah. Little growls and gurgles and things. Oh, a tail! Excuse me. Yeah, I have that problem too, because I see, obviously, a lot of furry art has a lot of diversity of bodies, and I see,
there we go. Looks like I need to match what's already here.
and I see ones I think, oh yeah, I want to look like that, and you see another one and it's like, oh yeah, I want to look like that, and then, but they're two completely different things. It can be very odd when you find appreciation in
much better.
so many different kinds of bodies to think about which one is right for you.
How to use the right designs on this?
What is that fire?
That did it. Did it!
shapeshifting would be so
I always
good. Yeah.
wanted to go on that tour. Oh well. Don't expect I'll ever see those caves now.
I would have shape shifting so fast. I wouldn't need any other power. I wouldn't necessarily need to. I know a lot of people joke about, especially in furry and things like that. It's like, oh, my gender is like fox or something like that. But I think if you have the ability on any given day, when you have that kind of fluidity of appreciation and appearance, please, why are you doing this to me? To just be whatever you wanted to be on whatever day you needed to be would be perfect. Like today I'm feeling like boy day or girl day, or just somewhere in between, or just the ability to be an animal or something like that would be just perfect. I don't think I could be any happier if I could have that ability to just change anything at will. I mean, I'm sure that's the case with anyone, but it's, you know, particularly when you have these gender feels, it becomes that much more palpable when you think about what you want to be. Yeah, and you know, it's yeah, Double Trouble, big non-binary icon, we stand. The transformation powers and the sort of inherent non-binary nature of their self is very cool.
This seems to mean something.
Yeah. We like Catboys. I know it's so important as well for, especially in, it's funny, just before I came on I saw a tweet about talking about the way we discuss fat bodies in furry and in queer culture generally, how we actually we're not kind to them and either kind of fetishize or shame them, and how prevalent even in a culture of fandom culture that is meant to be so like accepting for so many different reasons, we really don't provide for big people very well at all. Where's the grass? There it is.
Recording for posterity.
Yeah. Oh, hey Trick. Thank you for joining. I really enjoy seeing you in my notifications. Yeah, I think it was beef combo.
Super paint? Yes, please.
That was a tweet I saw anyway. And Quill too. They were talking about it. They're two really cool people. I like them a lot. Where on earth am I going? To the right, I think. I've no idea. It's a Roman numeral, so it could be you, it could not be you. Oh, what's happening?
Oh no.
No, piss. Leave me alone. Ooh, piss off. This is what's supposed to happen. Get up. Get up. Get up.
You don't belong here. Get it?
Oh, you little bastard. He's not paying attention. Yeah, exactly. You know, we very much as a culture equate non-binary nature to thin and androgynous, whereas that's not really the case, and you know, fat people get kind of excluded from the conversation on all levels of it. You know, yeah, I can imagine, and I'm sorry you have to go through that. I mean, there kind of swings and roundabouts with it, but I think it's easy to be accepted as non-binary or even just part of queer culture generally if you have that, if you're already conforming to the societal standards of like weight, and that's such a heavy piece of conditioning that we're not really out of yet in any good measure. Yeah, exactly. Like when you see androgyny, it's always this kind of perfect in between of neither here nor there, but always still this kind of traditionally attractive thinness. And there was a really interesting Tumblr post that I saw screen capped about Marvel movies and how there is a latent attraction to Alfred Molina because he is a very normal person in a universe, a Marvel universe of intensely attractive people, and like how they're sort of almost hyper attractive in a way, and he's one of the few that is just extant as a normal person with a belly and hair and like a normal face. Oops.
The art critics again.
Oh yeah. Peter B. Parker was really cool too. The best version of Peter Parker in my opinion. I get rid of this. And that was the one thing I don't like talking about certain transphobic authors, but the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them had one big benefit over a lot of other stories that I've seen, in that the character Jacob had actual character and sensitivity, and wasn't, I mean, he was used as a comic relief, but also wasn't just a comic relief, and actually had sensitivity outside of that for his shape. And yeah, but one of the things I've found that with my body, because I had weight issues, I have body issues, I don't like my shape a lot of the time, but the more I've begun transitioning and had my chest develop, the less I worry about my stomach, because I'm beginning to get that upper chest shape that actually helps accentuate my stomach a little bit less, and I find that really nice. But I also understand that I want to be at a point where I don't constantly worry about that, and that I can actually accept the parts of me that they will always be parts of me. I want to accept them and love them and know that I'm worthy of appreciation no matter my shape, and that everyone else should feel that way too.
None of these vines, they're like darkness but nastier. I don't think super paint's gonna cut through this stuff.
Light up all the bulbs.
Little help?
Oh, I have a Genie thing. Yeah, because there's always this sense of I have terrible imposter syndrome, so I don't necessarily believe that people are being truthful when they say that I'm, that attractive or anything like that. Not that I don't want to believe them. I want to feel that way about myself, but
Okay.
We're conditioned to not be kind to ourselves, because self-love is not only is it kind of
that looks.
not only is it very kind of counterculture, but it's also very against the status quo. If you don't love yourself, they can't sell you things.
Well, hello.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can see how that would kind of be very dysphoric, and other people would not see you for having been through that.
That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, and you've been on T, and you're wearing it. You've had your top surgery, you're having to go back to. Yeah, that's really bad. I'm sorry. Oops. Is that right? Give me something. Come here.
I was hoping to find that one.
No, no.
Ugh, that water is nasty. Cool.
It makes me sad that there is so much kind of dismissal of the trans mask experience as well, whether you're, you know, and sort of AFAB non-binary people as well. Because the assumption is that you're just kind of, I don't know, playing around.
Time to make a new friend.
And I don't think that's fair. It varies a lot depending on the circles you move around in, but I wish there was more balanced acceptance, more balanced wholesale acceptance of all of us, but also just for the nuance of and the
Coming along.
very specific experiences that people go through. Bunny. We're like the JoJo muscles. A powerful presence indeed. That's super cool.
What now?
I wanna. There are times that I really want to be super thin, but I also want to be like super buff as well. I don't know. There's like there's validity in all these different body types, and you know, I want.
No use, pal. It's too far.
I know. I have to
I'll try
move
to get
this
it
and I've
closer to
forgotten
you.
how. I really, really, really want to watch more anime, but I am terrible at committing to things. Especially if they're big. I am about 500 episodes behind on One Piece right now. And that's a daunting enough thought just by itself, let alone to actually try and do anything about it.
Much better.
If I get up there. Ooh, wow. That was a big hill. I can well understand, and I'm always more than happy to talk and listen and about things like that. You know, and it also because so much of the, you assume if someone says they're trans, they just think, oh, you're probably, you know, FTM, right? And it's like, well, no, actually, there's trans men, there's non-binary trans folk, there's, you know, that have all sorts of different experiences, but the resources, the discrepancy is really different, because you get all these things for like supporting trans women, but like trans men are kind of left in the dark with even just with procedures and the ability to kind of, you know, mask and dress like that, because the assumption is that, you know, if you're born assigned female at birth, and it's like, okay, well, you can just wear whatever you want anyway, and you're just kind of playing dress up, and you get they say you have privilege in like just wearing whatever you want because you can get away with that, but actually that's damaging to the actual experiences and problems that you have. I do have butterflies.
How's that look?
Yeah, you know, from the very beginning, I think the ideas of gender should just be completely destroyed. Like clothing stores, you're always kind of shut out of things that you either want or, you know, experiences and practicalities that you could have and looks that you could have. Like they have makeup for men now, like guy liner, just use makeup. Just use regular stuff. There is no difference. But it's this this societal idea of, oh, you can only do this or this if you're of this specific gender, is just so ridiculous. Where on earth do I go? Do I climb up seagull poop? Can almost get up. Nope. That would not surprise me if that was the case. I know it's very... I think it's rare enough, I think, in the States.
Too far.
But
I'll try to get
obviously,
it closer to you.
being me, it's not something that I've looked into.
I can paint that.
I have a couple of trans-masc friends I know who have particular difficulty getting any kind of... some of the stuff that they're going through surgically, medically, are really... really frustrating and often painful and dangerous too. Where am I going? Must be somewhere in this. Lights? Lights. Oh, okay, there's another genie spot over... slightly to the right? It's to the left. Down this way? Have I missed a single light? Is that it? Over here, I think. Oh, really? That little bit? You know, it's funny you mentioned that, because there was a graphic novel that I was really interested in and was very excited when it got released, because it was by a trans author and was supposed to be really cool and really inclusive, but the enemy in it, it's about, I'm always loath to mention the name because they're not a bad person. I know they're not a bad person, even though the story, to me, really missed the mark. The enemy of the piece was like, this whole graphic novel was kind of like masculinity, and it was like, that's really bad, because it isn't a problem with a gender as you experience it, it's in the stereotypes as they're enforced by a toxic society. And I think that when it kind of painted masculinity as this problem that boys were kind of naturally like kind of nasty and oafish, and that it caused all these storm of problems, it was like, it was really uncomfortable reading once you kind of delved into the subtext. So it wasn't even necessarily subtext, but like very specific messages. Yay, hello cat. Yee. And that's very I was really upset because I wanted to like that book and I wanted to support the author because they seem nice, and I see them on Twitter quite a lot because I have a few mutuals who are probably mutuals with them as well. But it's like, it just really highlighted a lot of the stereotypes that we have in queer culture and how damaging they are to people who don't fit specific... Oh no. Oh, there you are, there's two of you. You know, who don't fit very specific roles.
We need to work together.
And it also had other kind of problems with portrayal of non-binary folk and queer people of colour as well. Wow, you're the one that has to be quiet about that? That's awful.
Maybe even Cecil the sea lion will come back to take a look.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's part of the
You've got really good
part of the aspect of it, is that actually the art is one of the things that kind of liberates you from a darkness, a dark place. And that actually the one of the original writers of this was writing a story about how bullying, how art helped them overcome the problems they faced during bullying experiences and stuff like that. Now you want the sun. Goodness, this is a complex piece.
Bit
And a
of
fire.
pyro,
You want
huh?
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That what you were picturing?
Yeah. I don't get how they don't understand that actually having trans people write and talk about trans characters and trans experiences is much more valuable than a cis person saying, look at this, guys. You're like, okay, cool.
Luna?
I'm right here. But,
I didn't
you know,
realize you could come out here.
it should
I
make
thought
that much
you
more
were,
sense, you know.
You know, stuck in the lighthouse.
Yeah, same. I honestly don't mind. Like, I have
You can only
my
visit my
new
masterpiece paintings?
persona called Hero. I have no problem with them being she. And then I have a lot of other characters who are he, and some that are they. And, you know, I also understand that games have, you know, I want to play the game for the experience, and if it has something that caters to me specifically, that's really
Quite cool
cool.
spark plug, huh?
But otherwise, you know, you play a game that's in this
Alright,
style, you play a
let's get
game
a
that's
move
in
on,
you
Spark.
know, World of Warcraft,
a
you
lot
know,
more
you understand
painting.
that there are different contexts within which you can express yourself within that space.
Good to see
Because
you.
it's been designed that way. You know, I would love to see more in future, but I also understand that a game is a different universe, it's a different story experience, it's a different creative experience, and you are taking part in someone else's story. And that's why I have a hard time, not that I have a hard time criticizing this graphic novel that I read, because I understand that it was obviously very relevant to their
Who's
personal
next?
story, but they were the ones that were saying that apparently it should appeal to everyone's trans experience or non-gender conforming experience, but really it doesn't because of the way the story was written. I try not to criticize the way other people write stories because I know that I have every ability to write my own, and that they have made choices for very specific reasons for things that they want to tell. But there are times when I feel that there are kind of damaging tropes and things that need to be kind of addressed.
That feels right.
Does it? I think it's a little busy. What else can I put on? I want more tails. Can this be a tail? These?
Starting to come together.
Sure, why not? Whoops. Yeah, that's right.
Hey
Yeah.
there.
You don't really have as many experiences about people who've, you know, say remained closeted or, you know, you get a lot of celebration of people who are suddenly able to express themselves, and that's really cool. And, you know, that should be, you should have that affirmation, but you should also have that affirmation for people who have had to sit in silence for a very long time and, or, you know, just have difficulty being where they are. Or the difficulty that they face, because you want to have the, you know, it's important to have positivity. It's also important to be realistic about the things that you have yet to overcome. I think that some people don't want to hear that. I don't like the phrase "all men are trash." There is a toxic system of oppression. White supremacy is trash. Transphobia is trash. A lot of these things are combined together, which form a, you know, and all of these things are a lot of sort of inherently patriarchic things. Like white supremacy has a very male, like a cis male hetero bent. It doesn't make all men trash. It makes the system trash. It makes all these hateful things trash. I want to get up. Because it's very invalidating to trans men. They already have a hard enough time getting here, you know, finding room in queer spaces as it is, because people just assume either that you're not serious, or that if you want to be a man, you're essentially like identifying yourself as an enemy kind of thing, you know. And that's something that should really be reserved for capitalists. Where do I go? Yeah, and 9 years is a long time as well. That's well into a transition, or like almost, I don't want to say like not past a transition stage, but it's like you have 9 years is a long time to experience a lot of the things that you may potentially experience in being trans. You know, all kinds of erasure and, you know, moments of euphoria and stuff like that. It's important because it's just important for people to realize that trans isn't only a new thing, that there are people who have been transitioning for years in ways that you don't know or don't expect.